Hello everybody, welcome to the Braid and Tinker podcast. My name is Melanie and this is a video cast in which I talk mainly about my knitting. Welcome everybody, it is the 9th of January, it's a Thursday and I'm looking outside the window and it is super gloomy, which is why I have all the lights possible on and I'm being blinded by my ring light and it still feels dark. So super gloomy rainy day, but I guess that's a typical day in January in the Netherlands. It's so dark in the morning, it's ridiculous. I just brought my son to school and on Thursdays sometimes I do some reading with the kids, and I was cycling back home. It wasn't 9 o'clock yet, but it was still super dusky, is that the word? Still felt really dark outside. So not great, but we're heading, I guess, into springtime, so it should get better. We should be getting more light soon, I hope. I'll just talk briefly about what I'm wearing. This is the Arboreal sweater, which is a sweater pattern by Jennifer Steingass, and I steeked it and put in button bands at the front to turn it into a cardigan. I knit this out of Lopi yarn in a rust colour and a beige colour, and I really like it. It's very warm. The only thing I need to do still after a year is put in cuffs. I never put in the cuffs, and I don't know, I think I should, so maybe soon it will be time to put in some cuffs. I did add a pocket for my phone because I hate walking around with my phone in my back pocket of my jeans, so I just added a pocket to the cardigan. I am wearing on Wednesdays we hold a double with mohair t-shirt, which you can get in my t-shirt shop if you are interested and are considering supporting this podcast channel. Let's get into it. So I was knitting on the Ginny Cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and late last night I bound off. So that project is finished and it is glorious. I'm really happy with it. I knit this out of Ravelry yarn in one of the new fall heather colours in a green heathered colour, and I think the colorway is 4129, but it will be in my project notes underneath the description box of this video. And I held it double with some light grey drops mohair. So yeah, it's finished. Let me put this on. So I haven't woven in any of the ends, and this cardigan has not been blocked yet, but it's so comfortable and I really want to wear it all the time, I think. So yeah, I need to block it and weave in the ends, but it's super comfortable. I made the sleeves a very long cuff. I'm really happy about it. The shawl collar is so comfortable because it kind of hugs your neck, and I didn't do most of the texture that is actually in the pattern, but I did add pearl ridges to the shoulders, which was super easy to do. The notes to this will also be in the in my Ravelry project page below this video. In the pattern, Andrea Mowry suggests doing a super stretchy bind off for the band, but I did not. I just did a regular bind off because I don't know, I enjoy doing stretchy bind offs, and I did one on the cuffs because the cuffs need to be like really stretchy, right? Because your hands are way wider than your wrists are, so it makes sense to do that. I don't like doing super stretchy bind offs on everything because it makes the bottom of whatever you've been knitting like really loose, and it could flare out as it does here on the cuffs a little bit. It does flare out because the bind off is so big and stretchy, which is fine again for cuffs, but I find with the button band, it just looked nicer to do a neat bind off. And the only thing you need to mind is that you don't do it too tight, but it'll still stretch a little bit. It's just that I like it when the stitches are a bit more neater and together. If you find that your bind off for your button band is too tight, you can always loosen it up or go back and actually do the stretchy bind off. But I find it usually it's not really necessary. I didn't do a stretchy bind off at the bottom either. I just did a regular bind off, and I found it stretchy enough, so not necessary in my view. And I do realize that stretchy bind offs are quite popular, and you do see sometimes that people have knit things where either the hem or button bands are like super flary, and that's just because the bind off has been too stretchy. So yeah, I don't really want to take this off anymore. Actually, it's so comfortable. The phenol yarn is quite, I mean, it's not a soft yarn, it's quite, I would say it's a scratchy yarn, but it's not as scratchy as, say, a Let Low Be. And the mohair does give it a little bit of a softer touch. So yeah, really comfortable, really nice. I think I'm going to knit this again, to be honest. I might knit it on a larger needle. I knit this on a 4mm needle. I might knit it on a 4.5. I think I could do one that is a bit more open gauge. I have so much yarn in my stash that I could use for this. So I think I'm just going to knit another one. Not sure if I'd knit another one with mohair. I am aware that at a certain point the cold weather will stop and then mohair will be too warm to wear, but it will be nice to have cardigans. So I need to have some of those in between weather cardigans. But for now, this one is super, super warm, super great for the current weather. And I didn't have a lot of the phenol yarn left. I think I only have like, I don't know, but 20% maybe of a ball left. I used 7 balls in total. So that little bit is going to go into my phenol yarn stash bag that I use to make mittens. So it could, I don't know, could be a pop of colour in some of my mittens someday. But yeah, it's not much else I can knit with that little flub that was left. So I'm really happy that this cardigan used up most of that. So that's one sweater quantity gone. A couple more to go. Let me think. Oh yeah, so this is finished. And the other day, I remember, this is like, so on the 31st of December, I still had holiday and I didn't really feel like knitting, but I didn't want to do something. So I decided to cast on a scrappy blanket, a scrappy crochet blanket, and just put a bunch of my leftover sock yarn in a bag and start knitting with that. So that's what I did. I used, I'm using this project bag that Derek's mum made me, and I put some pins on it because that's what you do. And here, this is like all my socks leftovers. There's so many like things in here, and there's also some single ply yarns. Like this is some La Bien-Aimée that is left over. This is all kinds of stuff really. I have like these little bags with like tiny little balls, and we're just going through all of them and crocheting them together. Now the reason that I wanted to crochet is because I want to just kind of leave this downstairs on the couch and not worry about working on it too much. and so I thought it would be good to have crochet, because I don't usually crochet, and then I can just put the crochet hook in the bag and forget about it, and I won't have a set of needles that I can at that point no longer use for other projects, because it's kind of stuck in a blanket project. So yeah, this is where I am at the moment. It's not a massive, I've seen people knit these stripy blankets and they're massive. I don't think this is massive, but it is fun. And I'm doing, I had some of this Drops Flora left over in a light grey from a sweater project for my son. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'll do 1 row of the grey, then 3 rows of brightly coloured sock yarn, and then a row of the grey, 3 rows of brightly coloured sock yarn, and then another row of the grey. So I'm just sort of alternating 3 colours, 3 rows of colour, 1 row of grey, 3 rows of colour, 1 row of grey. And I think it kind of ties it together a bit more, and yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out. It's actually so much fun to knit this, because I do a row, and then I just do a magic knot to attach the next yarn, and then I snip off the ends, and so I do have leftovers, but I just kind of try and finish all of them. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's just really fun to kind of go through my bag of scraps and think, oh yeah, I remember, for example, some Fool's Gold by Hedgehog Fibers, because that was, for a long time, it was my favourite hand-dyed yarn colour. And I had some great yarn left from Bird Street UK, and I came across some single ply from Spectrum Fibre. Oop, dropped my needle. It's this bright neon colour, and that was actually the first hand-dyed yarn I'd ever bought. So it's been really fun to revisit these yarns and yeah, kind of put them in a nice place. I really do hope that this will quickly grow a little bit bigger, because I kind of want it to be a nice lap blanket to work on when I'm watching television, and it's still a smidge too short. I think if I add like this much more, it will be nicer to work with. But other than that, it's just going to be like something I work on when I'm sitting in front of the telly and kind of work through some of my sock yarns. There are some skeins that I was putting them in the bag, and I'm thinking I could actually knit some summer socks, some shorty socks with that yarn. So what I'm doing at the moment is trying to finish up like the tiny scraps that I'm not going to use for anything else anymore, and putting them in the blanket. But yeah, and then I'm working together with the Drops Flora, purely because I had 2 balls of this left, and I think it's nice to give the blanket a sort of a little bit of a blank backdrop, so that it's not just crazy colours, but it has like a theme kind of going on. And then also, if I do run out of this and I need more, it's super easy to get more of. So that was, sorry, that was my camera. That was my thinking. So yeah, it does get messy really quickly with all the loose yarns, and it doesn't help that I'm wearing a cardigan that needs its ends woven in. So this has just been living on our couch as a thing that I can grab when I want to do some crochet and I don't feel like knitting. So let's revisit my sock projects for... I did finish one of the Mondim Odeline socks. So that was good. And then I'm on the second one. I'm at the heel flap. So I don't think this is going to take much longer. This was really quick, by the way. I think this was like 2 evenings and I knit most of this sock. So I just need to get my crap together and finish this. My sock snake that I'm knitting out of Regia is also getting very long. I am on the second cuff, and so this will be a pair of socks super soon as well. So that's that bag. And then yesterday I was working from home, and I was in a meeting, a Skype meeting, and it was really boring, and I had needles and yarn on my desk, and Sarah just cast on a sock on some DPNs. Oh. And it's this yarn. This is a Crazy Zauberball by Schoppelwolle, and yeah, I'm just knitting. I just want to make another sock snake. I think they are my favorite because you can just knit, and you don't have to think. And then after a while, you just kind of do another cuff, and then later I can add the heels and toes. So it's great even to knit on, and you don't have to decide at the beginning who the socks are going to be for, because you put the heels in later, which kind of determines the length of the foot. So if you wanted to, you could gift them to someone and not decide until the very last minute. So this is a set of Knit Pro Zings, I believe. I think so. Let me check. Yeah, this is a set of 2.5 mil Knit Pro Zings. I'm just testing them out. I usually have wooden needles, but I actually quite like these. Yeah. Haven't knit enough yet to make up my mind. I think they are quite long though. They are 20 centimeters. Maybe I would have enjoyed a shorter pair a bit better, but they do really fit nicely in my Yavel leather DPN cozy that I got for Christmas. So this is just living on my desk at the moment as a sort of, oh, I'm bored, I need to I'm in a meeting and I need to talk to people, and my hands can be busy at the same time. Or if my son is in the bath and he's just having bath time, and I can sit next to him and do a couple of rows on the sock. So it's kind of like a I'm waiting sock. Yeah, really enjoying that at the moment. I do want to do another cast on soon. I have a lot of yarns that are kind of waiting for projects that have been sort of earmarked for projects. So I have a cardigan that I want to make for my son in a red colour, and I have some more yarn for a sweater project for him that I probably should get on soon before the weather turns. And then I have some sweater quantities for myself and some kind of self put together fade kits that I might want to do some cardigan knitting with. So I haven't decided what project I'm going to start with though, so we'll see. I have been enjoying several hashtags on Instagram, like the knitting from, what is it, knitting from stash? I don't know, just I like watching people knit from their stash. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more stash knitting this year. And the hashtag knitting bingo is really good. I saw that on the podcast from Kia Sport podcast. Oh, sorry, I need to let the cat out. And what you do is you make like a bingo sheet, and then you go through your stash and assign them projects, and you put them in the bingo card, and you can kind of cross off the ones that you have knit, and then at the end of the year you can see how many of your stash you've knit through, which I think is a great idea. She's also got on her podcast, this is something that you're interested in, the free socks hashtag, and this is a knit along where she picks a free sock pattern from Ravelry, and then you pick sock yarn from your stash, and then every month you knit a sock together. So that's also a really interesting idea. Speaking of free patterns on Ravelry, I made a new bundle, Ravelry bundle, Hidden Gems bundle, for this episode. And because we have just gotten out of very expensive, probably for most people, holiday days, I thought it would be good to have a free edition. So these are all free patterns that you can find on Ravelry, and let's go through them. And yeah, so this is the bundle. It's called Hidden Gems Free, and these are some patterns that I found on Ravelry that are free to download. So let's start with this. Is the inside out upside down cowl, and the pattern is by Heide Petrowski, and I did check, this is an English pattern, don't worry. It's a free Ravelry download. It says here that it's free until December 13, but it's still available for free, so not sure what's going on there. It has one project, and it is a very nice stripy cowl. And yeah, I just thought I'm really into cowls at the moment because they're quick knits, and they're great gifts, and they're very comfortable to wear. They're great for the cold weather, and they don't bulk up your coat very much. So I put in another cowl here. This is the Eucalyptus Lace Cowl by Nevin Dermenci, and it's a mohair cowl with a lace pattern on it. This has 6 projects on Ravelry at the moment. Ooh, I really like this one. So this one has beads in it, and I think that's really cool. Looks very, very pretty. That would be a great gift, but could also be, yeah, just for you. So, oh, something happened. Hang on. I think I went back to an older version of this bundle. Anyway, this one is the Red Riding Hood, like a scarf thing. I just thought I just really like the look of this. It just looks really, really comfortable and warm. It has 18 projects at the moment, and yeah, looks fun. It doesn't look too close or tightly knit, so I think it looks like it could be something that's quite a fast knit. It's the pattern is knit out of Ullcentrum 2-ply sport weight, which is kind of a DK. Next up are these DK Merino fingerless mitts by Vanessa Ewing, and it has kind of like a twig pattern on it. They are knit out of a DK, but if I see this one looks like it's knit out of a thicker gauge yarn. I just thought these were cute and looked like a nice quick knit, and fingerless mittens are fantastic. I wear them all the time. This is a stranded mitten pattern. It does have 29 projects, which is a bit more than the ones that I usually pick, but I just thought it looked so nice with the flowers, and it looks very traditional. So yeah, a great free pattern. And then the next one is also a mitten pattern, and it kind of looks the same, but the one with the flowers looked really traditional, and this one has more geometric shapes, which I'm also really into. This one has 5 projects, and yeah, I just really like the geometric shapes, really. Mittens are also still super great for the weather. Of course, this totally depends on where you are in the world. These are the Amant socks by Trude Hertas, and I thought this was a really good sock pattern with a big cable on the side and some fun lace stitching in the center. And then I did really I love these this sock pattern. It's called the Debutante Sock by Rachel Ferguson, and yeah, I really love this pink yarn, and it has some really pretty delicate cabling that runs across the entire side of the foot. Really nice, and a free download. So I definitely am going to look into knitting those, I think. Some more cables. This is the Classic Cables cardigan by Therese Chenoweth. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. No projects at the moment on Ravelry, but I do really love this cable cardigan, and it has those leather buttons on the side. It looks like a really great, comfortable cardigan. This one is the Retouch Hat by Roos Vlaskamp, and it's knit out of Camaros Snefnag, and I just really like the powdery pink hat. I think it's so cute. I think you could knit this with pom or without, and it would look both would look great. Really fun fluffy hat. So the last one are these dishcloths that I found by Universal Yarn. The pattern is available for free on their website, and they are these macaron cloths, and I just thought they were so fun. They are lace, they are knit out of cotton yarn, they are lace textured, and then they have pink I-cord edging that kind of ties them all together. I think this would be a great project for stash cotton, because using the I-cord in the same color, you can make this work as a set of dishcloths. I just find them so fun, and I had to put them in this bundle when I saw them. Okay, so that's all the free patterns, fun free patterns that I could find on Ravelry, and I will be making this bundle public, and then yeah, you guys can find the link to that in the description box of this video. So that was it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. You have been liking the past few videos quite a lot, and I do see that it helps. So thank you so much for sharing that. Even better than a like is a comment. So if you have any comments or questions for me, just leave them below in the comment section, and I will see you all again soon. Bye!